First off, let's introduce Eric here.
What's up? What's up, guys?
So, how long have you been with FFL?
I would say probably 2 or 3 months now.
Okay.
2 or 3 months. Yeah.
And were you part time or full time?
I was part-time at first.
Okay.
So today is my first full-time day.
First official day.
Hey.
First
Full-time day.
You quit your old job. What were you doing before?
I was working for a job agency, so we're doing recruiting as well as sales.
Okay.
And yeah, it's right down the street here in Torrance.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what made you finally switch over? So, were you making more money before, after? What made you go from doing FFL part time to doing it full time and forget the old job?
I would say just FFL in general. I just wanted to get trained better. I wanted better training. I wanted to level up. I was just too comfortable, man. Too comfortable working for a corporate job and all that stuff. And been in contact with you and Albert for a while. And part-time, I think just in the past 2 weeks, made 3-4 sales and literally doubled my income of what I would have to work 2 months at my old job in the past 2 weeks just with FFL. I doubled my income. So I was like, you know what? As scary as it is, I'm going to take the leap. I'm going to take the dive. I know these guys got my back and I'm going in.
And
It's
tell,
awesome.
tell us about that. So you said he was telling us about this a few hours ago. You said you posted something on Facebook and you got a sale out of it.
I feel like all my sales were super crazy. They're super funny. My first one is one of my good friends. I just text him because I know he has 4 kids, 2 baby mamas,
Wow.
So
He needs 2 policies.
yeah. So I'm like, hey man, you need to get this. We have good products. And he's like, all right, let's do it.
Okay.
He just no questions asked, like nothing. He just signed up.
How big was that sale?
It was a 1200.
Okay.
1200. Got him a really good term. And then my mom calls me up one day. She's like, hey, are you still doing the life insurance thing? Because I wasn't really vocal about it.
Okay.
I wasn't really posting. I wasn't really, diving in part-time. And then she's like, well, we have this policy with AAA. It's a 5-year term. It's going up because your dad's turning 65. What can you do for us? I'm like, boom.
I can
So
save you.
yeah.
What
So-
can I do for you?
Yeah. So I ended up going over to my parents' house and, I signed both of them up. My dad was like 1,700. My mom was like 800.
Wow.
So that was, and then I got
That's
paid, and then I got paid for that. And it was funny. I was like, hey mom, we'll take a picture of me and my pops,
Because you saw people doing
yeah.
that, right?
And then I was just happy to protect them, man. I was happy to protect them. So I took a picture of my dad. A day later, my aunt comments, hey, I'm
My
interested too.
My
I
turn.
need one.
What did you put? You just put it on your wall? You put it on the Facebook page?
No, I just put it on my wall.
Okay.
Yeah, I put it on my wall. I should have posted it though, but I just put it on my wall. And then she just, she commented like, hey, I want the same thing. Whatever they got, I'll take the same thing. So I signed her up on Sunday. So
That FOMO,
Yeah.
FOMO.
yeah.
Wait, you put it on your wall, like
Like it's-
physical wall?
No,
No,
it's just Facebook.
Facebook wall.
wall.
Got it. Okay.
These young kids.
Yeah. So
I was trying to figure that out.
it was just it was a crazy experience. I mean, last year I know I mentioned to you, we had 2 deaths in the family. So
Mhm.
it was,
right?
yeah. So it felt good to cover them and also cover my aunt, which her husband was the one that passed away.
Wow.
So that was like, that's why I posted it
big.
because it meant so much. It was just crazy. It was
hit
crazy.
home.
Yeah, it hit home that she trusted me with it, and I'm brand new, but I knew the products. Super simple e-app. She knew what she was getting. She's protected. It's a good price. So it was a
Easy.
no-brainer, man.
People
So-
need it.
How much did you bring in from just those 3 warm market sales, basically?
It was 4.
Well,
it
his
was-
husband, mom and dad, one,
right.
your friend and your aunt.
Like 3,900.
So 3,900.
Hello.
Not
altogether.
even leads yet.
Yeah, no leads. I didn't invest in any
Using
leads.
that money to invest into
Yep.
leads. Yep.
So I took that. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna need this when it's time to go full time.
Today.
And then as far as putting in my 2 weeks, I'll just say, hey, like I'm not really getting any training here. It's been 3 years. I know you guys are a big corporation, but I'm not worth 50,000 anymore. I'm worth more than that.
That's good.
So
Did you get a raise between those 3 years?
yeah, I got a raise, but I mean it was like
Few
what, a couple
cents.
bucks. Yeah.
Incremental, smaller raises.
couple bucks. And
$2
then
bucks.
it just wasn't satisfying anymore, and now I feel like, in regards to like the deaths that I had in 2020, I feel like it only makes sense for me to take a career where I could make not only high comp but help people
Mhm.
help people protect their loved ones.
Okay. So where do you see yourself now in this business? Like now that you know distractions, would you say, right? Because you're fully in, right? You're jumping in.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see yourself on your first full month? What do you want to write to where do you see yourself come end of the year?
First full month, I for sure want to hit at least 10K, and that's at bare minimum, but I'm going to shoot for 15.
Okay.
Just because I know it's going to be a process, you know, getting back into dialing, you know, getting it back into, you know, self-employed, and, you know, you're pretty much your own boss.
Okay.
But I mean, after I get, you know, some solid months in and I get the hang of it, I want to be consistently hitting 25, 30.
That's right.
Every month.
So do you believe that anyone can do this?
I believe anyone can do this, man. Yeah, I dropped out of college after a couple months. I'm not a big school person. I would just say, I like to work, and I like nice things, and I like money. So I feel like anyone can do this.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Nice,
so
man.
We like bringing in brand new individuals here, as you guys know, from experiences, from no experiences, because anybody can do this. It's just a matter of putting yourself down and, you know, focusing and figuring out what you need to improve on. And so what we're going to go on quickly to follow up on Albert's, we're going to go strictly on dissecting numbers. Okay. So nothing in a, I would say, an emotional way. When we look at numbers, we want to look at it and where we can improve, just strictly looking at the numbers. Okay, so not to like go nuts on people or anything, right? But here's what we finished with February. Okay, we finished with a total production volume with life and annuity at 685,000. Okay, all life production we did 650,000. Okay, currently the production was written by 142 writing agents. So we did 685,000 with 142 writing agents. Here are some glaring numbers. Out of the 22 out of 140, 22 writing agents wrote between 5,000 and 10,000. 11 writing agents wrote between 10,000 and 15,000. Kind of funny, we don't have any agents that wrote between 15 to 20,000, but we did have 4 writing agents that wrote between 20,000 to 30,000. And then we have 2 writing agents that wrote over $30,000 in production. Okay, so we had a total of 48 writing agents out of the 142 that did over 5,000. Okay, but here's the really bad number to look at. We have 101 writing agents that actually wrote under 5,000. So this, when we look at an average volume, the company wants to move into having an average volume of production per agent at about 5,000 minimum, but really the target goal is 10,000 writing minimum per month. So we're falling short on that. We're at 4,800 writing agents. So incremental changes by the lot of us will increase that. Okay, so there's a couple of things. There's a lot of variables. There's a lot of factors that can happen. One, of course, you know, we were in convention. Second, a couple of us got COVID, so we weren't the most productive February agents out there. And then we have brand new agents coming in where their production just started. So nothing to go and say bad things to everybody, but there's a lot of improvement on it, right? We did 685, but imagine, I was just doing a quick number. If we had 100 agents just add an additional $1,000 in production out of those 100 agents that didn't write over 5, that's an additional $100,000 we could have bumped up from the 685 to 785. It's that simple. Quick 1,000. How can you increase that? We can easily just get 2 to 3 referrals, and whether they're sales from the sales you've already made, ask for a referral or 2. Get another two. Maybe they could have done something like Eric did. Post their sale on Facebook. Another friend or family member could have hit him up and say, "Hey, man, I need insurance too." And more importantly, taking things and doing a lot of the takeaways we got out of convention. And we have Marlon here to introduce, because your production quickly jumped. Well, right after, of course.
Right after COVID.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah. You want to talk about COVID?
No, after COVID. We know what COVID does.
For sure. Yeah. Not good. Anything good. I mean, convention was awesome. I mean, it was eye-opening. I think that, it was very clear to see, that everything was very repetitive. Everything was very redundant. And it's always like that in this business. And I love that because, it's just simple. So one of the biggest things I took away is that the pattern I was seeing of the Hall of Fame producers, for example, $2,000 a week into leads.
Right.
$2,000. So there was different ways of doing it. Like some people would do it the annuity route. Some people would do it the final expense, the mortgage protection. So that's going to be, you know, up to you, the individual agent, like what route you want to take. But the amount of money that's being invested is still the same regardless of that route. So yeah, they're still putting in 2 G's. So, you know, when you do the math, it makes so much sense. I mean, there's so much that I learned, and there's so many, you know, things, especially from Sean Mike. I was looking at it, you know, the wrong way. And one of the things that I was doing is I would really kind of brag a lot about the return of investment. Yeah. And while it's amazing, I remember him saying that one specific thing where he was like, a lot of you guys are focusing on like the ROI, right? Which matters, but he just, you know, said like, but if you do more, if you purchase more leads, if you, you know, give yourself more opportunities to get more clients, you're going to have an even bigger ROI. Like, don't just focus on that little, like, oh yeah, $4 lead and I turn that into 2,000. That's cool. But these people that are investing $2,000 a week are making way more money than you. Yeah. And so that kind of opened me up, because I was like, you know what, that's true. Like, even though I'm getting such a big ROI, I'm still like,
it's still chump change.
Yeah. I'm still not making anywhere near these people. So, you know, I loved it because the one thing, in addition to $2,000 a week, everyone just kept talking about working hard, like actually just working. And that's one thing we can all do, regardless of what we look like, where we come from. We can all work. We can definitely do that, right? So I just, you know, evaluated myself, and this was happening even prior to convention, because I remember having a conversation with Albert and JP here, and I was just getting tired. I was just like, damn, like I'm not really, you know, making the money that I want to make. I'm making money, but, you know, it's a little bit annoying to see all these people on the TNLs killing it, and you're just like doubting. You're just like, dang, like, what are they doing that I'm not doing? Yeah. And honestly, man, they were just working. Like, I wasn't working. You know, if I can be real and be transparent, I was not working. Like, I counted the hours that I was working a week, maybe 10.
But see, there's sometimes that's what fools us too, right? Because you count that as your ROI. Because now you're thinking, I made this much money with 10 hours less of work. Oh, I made a lot.
It's just silly.
But it's just a lot
independent
of
contractor syndrome, right?
Right. And I mean, you talked about it, and it's very smart of you that you're seeing that already. Like, yeah, you're gonna be your own boss. Yeah. You know, and having that self-discipline and being committed, like no one's gonna be there to tell you when to clock in and stuff. So I mean, one of the things for sure is like I decided I'm going to go to work. So, you know, I had a dialer and I was paying this dialer. You know, she's from the Philippines, and God bless her soul. You know, she was making good money. But, you know, the amount of appointments, you know, wasn't adding up, one. And then two, like it made me feel really comfortable. And I was super comfy. Like, I mean, let's be honest. Like, I would come to the office Mondays and Thursdays. I would not dial. Like,
because you had a dialer.
Because I had a dialer, but also I hated it. I like, you know, like would not want to dial because bad experiences. So I was just so flooded with negativity and convention, man. Sean Mike, for his language, first of all, he's like, oh yeah, I love dialing. Like it's, you know, something that he looks forward to. I'm over there sitting down like, bro, what are you looking forward to? Like,
I hate people.
It's terrible. Yeah. But you know, that mindset and, you know, now that I'm working, now that I'm dialing, it is fun. Like I can see it, like, you know, after the field, like, you know, we all do this. We talk to ourselves and stuff. And I was just telling myself like, man, I get it now. Like actually working and putting that work feels good. And I see what he's talking about. Like, he's not lying. Like, yeah, like you're going to have the layups. You're going to have to overcome a few objections. Next thing you know, you got 10 appointments. That's fun. Because that's money, that's opportunity.
And now you're excited to work, right?
Now you're looking forward to waking up early to make sure your clothes are ironed. You want to make sure the car has gas. You're going to be there on time. You look forward to actually doing the grind. Yep. And I'll just be real. I wasn't doing that. You know, I had the dialer. I was comfy, you know, lazy. So I'm just grateful that the opportunity's here, and really you can turn it around that fast too. And in a week.
Let's talk about that turnaround. Yeah. So as soon as you're back to work, you started dialing on a Monday.
Yeah.
I remember you mentioned you did like 17 appointments your first
week? So with my dialer, the most I ever got booked was probably 10 appointments
a week
with my dialer, paying her to dial. I was paying her like Well, I had her working full time too.
So you were paying her 40 hours.
40 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I remember you and I talked about
There
it.
goes your ROI right
Right.
there.
There goes my ROI. Like I'm not even getting that much of an investment or money back.
Yeah.
So I let her go, and, she understood it. It's business. And my first week, which was last week, I got Phone Burner. I got a few new leads. What I decided to do was, you know what? I've got $1,500 to $2,000 leads in my CRM. And these are all leads I gave to my dialer. I've never dialed them once. Let me put them into Phone Burner.
Yeah.
Let me just see what's going to happen. And
That's pretty much the same as buying 3-month-old leads, right?
exactly. And I've never dialed them. And, one thing that you're going to hear, from a lot of people, they'll tell you is that no one's going to care about your business the way you do. Like you can have a dialer, but it's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
So I just got to work. I had my script ready. I was fighting the negativity. I was like, this is it. Like, this is how I'm going to get out of this poverty mindset. I just got to work. So I got my butt here early, Phone Burner, got my script ready, started doing it. Next thing you know, appointment. So 18 appointments. And I know the goal is my first week actually working. Yeah. And I'll be real, right? I'm going to keep it even more transparent. I'm still not even working 40.
Right.
Like I was working 10 before. I counted the hours. I worked 30 hours last week. So,
okay, that's good.
Yeah. So, I was kind of,
you tripled your work effort.
I tripled my hours, but we got to get, the way I'm seeing it is like, okay, if you're at a job, you're working 40 hours minimum.
Yep.
This is our business. And if we can make way, way more money, why aren't we working 40? So, I'm getting there little by little, I'm putting in more effort, and, it's not something that's going to happen overnight, but it worked, 18 appointments, 8,200 submit. Nice. So yeah, that paid me $7,000 in the last 7 days.
And how much did you save not paying for the dialer for the month that week?
$500.
So you saved 500, wrote 8,000, wrote more than what you had with the 10 appointments she was bringing.
Right. I saved money. I made more money. It just, it was the dialer's fault. Nah, but it was my fault.
Who knows if she was, you're not like babysitting her.
Right. And I wasn't.
She literally could have been working 1 hour a day.
She could have. And I would have never known because she's miles away and I didn't really care, and that's just really it. I didn't really care too much about my business. I was chilling. Like, I got a team, the overrides, all that. But, integrity is real. The opportunity is real. Looking at what you guys are doing, like when you guys post your direct deposits, there's levels.
Right.
And I'm just like, yo, I don't want to be at this level. Like I want to get to that level to where chargebacks don't matter. Like you don't even think about that. Like,
And talk about that, since now you said now that you have extra income from your own production, how does that affect you with building a team?
It affects it in every way because, you and I were talking earlier, like to build a business, you need money, you need capital. Yeah. You do. Like you could, promote all day and please do that. I do that as well, but nothing like an AMG campaign, nothing like a Lead Owl campaign where you're paying professionals to get you, leads. You're never going to be able to compete with that. Right. So you need money for that. Like the Lead Owl is $1,000, AMG is $2,500 a month. So guess what? If I'm writing $15,000 to $20,000 a month after my lead expense, after my bills, everyone's bills are different. I didn't have enough money to be recruiting. Mm-hmm. So therefore I'm not growing. Therefore it's just me. I'm getting by. I'm comfy, but I'm not growing. I'm not going to get an integrity deal. I'm not going to get this. I'm not going to get that. So it all starts with yourself, like you taking care of your own pocket first. You making your money will free up doors, And thank God, like last night, I closed my barber's parents, talk about promoting, referrals. Talk about referrals. And it's real. Like we do have to, open our mouths. We got to tell people like, this is what we do. I was thinking about like, man, if I want an integrity deal, there's no reason why people should not be knowing that I'm a life agent. Yeah. And like, I should be their guy. I should be promoting. And one thing led to another. My barber, cut my hair, say, hey bro, who do you work with again? I was like, a broke rich family first. My mom's going to sign up with Mercury. I'm like, the car insurance, like they're still in business, and one thing led to another, boom, 3,900, that pays me like 3 G's. Yeah. So even more money to invest. So it does matter. Like, if you have money outside of the business, awesome. If you're using that to invest, cool. But, if you can make more money here and put it, into the business, invest, you're going to go faster. So
let me ask you a question on that. Since now that you've mentally become productive,
yes,
would that conversation would have happened if you still had your dialer versus you dialing now and in that zone of production, talking to your barber and the insurance for your barber?
Would that have happened? Yeah, I think it would have, because I was still like promoting, and one thing I've done, I would say pretty consistently, is promote on social media. And if it's not me, if I'm not having a good week, I'm promoting you, I'm promoting people. Let's do that. Like, why not? Like, share the story. So he's been knowing that for sure. So that would have still happened. But I'll tell you what, I'm way more confident right now. I feel like talking more, like I'm walking with a different, pep in my step kind of thing, because there's money in my pocket. I'm helping real families. People are getting protected. I'm putting money back into communities, and I'm actually working.
Yeah.
Like,
but sometimes what I was getting at in that is that a lot of people think, luck happen, it just falls in your lap. Sometimes luck comes to the prepared, because you're talking and you're doing life insurance. Life insurance sales happen.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Just like what Eric had, you started writing business, more business comes in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the more you guys are active into this business, the more production will happen into the business as well. And just to add to that, then, how we can apply this, so we were talking earlier, we have 101 agents that wrote under 5,000. Okay. We're concerned financially for you. Hopefully maybe you are having full-time and this is part-time. That's okay. But if this is your full-time and you're under production, you're under 5,000, that's something we want to be concerned about, right? Because not about us getting over-ice over you. It's about you making sure you take care of your bills, your leads, your finances, and FFL doing something better for you than FFL harming you, right? Mm-hmm. So I just want to add a couple of things into the numbers on how we can improve. One more number to increase. Okay, a couple of things. First, how can we increase? Let's get your feedback.
Sure.
A $5,000 producing agent into a $10,000 producing agent. What advice would you guys say?
Evaluate yourself. Evaluate your performance. Number one, like my change would have never happened if I never had that honest conversation with myself. It can be hard, because it's humbling. Like, dude, you're lazy. You suck.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have that conversation with yourself for real. Like, if you care about you and your money and your business, your family, you got to talk to yourself like you care, because you do. So my advice is evaluate your business. How many hours are you putting in the field for real? Mm-hmm. For real though. Like, how many hours, how many dials, right? How many dials are you putting in dial day? Like, are you doing 200, 300? Because that's a problem. If you're getting out of 2 dial days, like, you should be doing 500 to 700, in my opinion. Okay. Lead flow, right? If you're writing 5,000, for sure, direct connection with lead flow, you're probably investing $200 to $500 a week, and teach their own. Like, everyone has a different.
You can move up.
Exactly. You can move up and reinvest. So I think what I'm seeing, right, and it's clear, not just with me, but with you, with other people, is like, when you work minimum 40 hours, treat it like, it was a job. Like, you put those hours in, you dial, you focus, you have that lead flow, you door knock. I can say it now with confidence. It's impossible not to make money.
As long as you're working.
As long as you're working. Yeah.
Because you got to understand, like, okay, if an average annual premium is 1,000 and you wrote only 5, that means you had 5 sales in the 30 days.
In the month.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That means you're literally almost selling once a week. Mm-hmm. If you're selling once a week, even if you have a bad close ratio of 1 out of 4, you sat down with 4 people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you had 4 appointments, let's say you have a 50% show ratio, maybe you had 8 appointments that week.
Yep.
That's pretty bad, right?
Yeah.
Some people are doing 8 to 10 appointments in one day. So you could be doing just 1 day's work of the week for that month.
You can do it.
Or less.
If you do all 4 in 1 week, you just literally wrote.
Eric just wrote 4,000 without any leads. Yeah. You could literally write 5,000.
And then show for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, by
no.
Your eyes closed, right?
No, don't do that. Like, it kind of seems like, from the way the numbers play out, you can, with the way our comp is set up, and I mean the way our business is designed, you can get the leads and you can literally make that in a week.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then
hang out.
And then still make 5,000 AP for the month. So.
Right. So there's a lot of gaps that we can really look at, and a lot of variables that we can look at, but ultimately, it comes down to how many appointments and how many
Yeah.
hours did you put in?
If I may add, I think one of the things that's been really hammered to me by Matt Smith specifically is phones. Like he says 80% of the business is phones, and I've talked to several people on my team. They know that now, hopefully. But just think about that. Matt Smith, legend in the game, 80% of the business is phones.
Yep.
New agents and even sometimes veterans, we start worrying about products.
Yep.
We start worrying about this, that, like that's only 5% of the business.
Yeah.
So my advice for any new agent, like yourself, Eric, like phones is going to be the biggest thing. Do as much, studying, practicing as you have to, and master it. Because if you can master the phones, that means you're going to set solid appointments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're going to have solid prezo. And that's all that really matters. Like if we want to keep it simple, I feel just set some solid appointments. Once you're in the home, call John.
Yep.
Call Albert. Albert, 82 years old. No idea what I'm doing.
Put it on GroupMe.
Just put it on GroupMe.
Yeah,
I love Julio. I don't know if he's on the call on the Zoom.
Yeah.
Julio is perfect. This kid has his inventory, takes the picture, boom. What do I do, guys? Yeah, yeah, it's great.
That's all we need you to do.
It's genius. Yeah,
That's where
so
he does that too.
yeah.
Props to you.
So that's it. That's the 1-2 punch. It's phones. Just make sure you protect your dial time. Have your script. Don't take anything personal. Learn to overcome objections. That is necessary. That is serious because people get thrown off by one objection. You lose. The call drops and now you can't reach them again. So you got to do a door knock. So I think for sure the biggest change in addition to working all that has been phones too, though. Like my mindset, looking forward to it, not taking it personal, having my tone ready, knowing what to say. And, the script that I like to use, they call it Nina's script. It has like the objections on the bottom. It's so short. It's like, oh, I didn't send it in. Okay, boom, 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 boom. I'm not interested. Well, I'm not interested either. It's just stick to that. Don't change, the wheel. It's already there. It's going to work out.
What do you think about this? Like, because when I was doing life insurance, like I was looking for any way to avoid the phones, right?
To distract
like we
yourself.
want to work on objections. We want to work
Right.
on our prezos. We want to work on this. We want to learn about the product.
Yeah.
We want to learn anything that we can do
Anything-
to improve in another area so that we do not have to focus on the phone.
Yeah,
So
it's
you're running
real.
away
Avoid
from
the
your
phones.
problems.
It's
You know what I'm
real.
saying?
That was me for 10 months.
Yeah.
So, it's just, I can understand why we don't look forward to it, but because you will get yelled at. You sometimes, I sat for 45 minutes earlier today, didn't speak to anybody on phone burner, by the way. So but it's part of the game though. It's just, again, listening to the people in convention. And Sean Mike, he's just so real, right? That's it. We get to dress up nice. Look at Eric. You come to the office, we're not like mechanics getting super dirty. You just got to pick up the phone and just stay there.
Yeah. And talk about your mentality then too, because you had a good phone day Monday, right?
Yeah.
And Tuesday, what happened on Tuesday? You had 6-7 appointments.
This last Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Monday, had a good phone day. I had 8 appointments Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. How many sales did you
no
do?
sales.
Okay.
Sat with 6. So,
what was your mentality going through with that at the end of the day? Because you had a good positive note.
I loved it. I loved it because, again, knowing that I'm working, I'm like, all right, that's day 1. I hit the field 4 days a week. I'm only resting Sundays. I'm cool. So my mindset is, what I looked at the most was, hey, I had 6 sits. And that's huge because
that's a good plus.
Yeah.
You had a good
100%.
show ratio.
You got your nose out of the way.
yeah, because I had
6 out of 8. That's a high show ratio.
That's high. That's high. So,
Yeah.
At that point, I'm like, okay, I know my appointments are being booked. They're solid. I'm tying them down. So I know they're going to be there. It didn't work out for whatever reason. I genuinely, did my best. And some people just didn't have the money. It is what it is. It's part of the game. So I was not,
discouraged or anything.
discouraged. No, coming from a prior week of knowing that it worked and writing 8,100, it just keeps you going. So once you pick, all it takes is 1 week and you just can't stop because it's like, okay, I went through it. I can write it. Hard work. Cool. We can do it again.
You have momentum.
You have momentum. Yeah. Yeah. So I think the hardest part was me getting out, waking up and starting. Because again, I had the dialer. I was chilling, comfy. It's like pilot mode. Okay, cool. All right, let me check, how many appointments should be. Okay, cool. Should book 4. It's hard because you're comfy, but again, the opportunity, I was looking at it so small. Like I was so like, I want to say like poor in my thinking, because I was just thinking so small. It's like there's 20-year-olds here making $70,000 a month.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
With 70 G's in a month, I pay all of my debts off. You know what I'm saying? Like it just, I mean, I don't know. It's
just the
baffling.
opportunities there.
But
that reminds me back to what Jesus was saying. It's just the start of you moving and getting up that hill, and then now it's a downward momentum and moving fast, and things are rolling for you.
Right. Yeah, you already, it's muscle memory. You know what to say. You're confident. Your body's also adjusting. You're waking up early. Now it's not so hard. Everything just starts working in your favor.
So let's go into that then. So last part for you then, what was that light switch for you? What switched it?
What made me want to do it?
Yeah.
I mean, I needed more money. Honestly, straight up, I needed more money. Like I didn't come here just to do that. Like I love building. I love hiring. I love teaching. I love, watching my people grow and them making their money and them getting a new car, moving into a new place, whatever. So I wasn't seeing too much of that, and I'm like, first it needs to start with me. It's going to be really hard for me to sell the dream and like me not live it. So, I just got tired of it. And staying plugged in is a big deal. Staying plugged in and these calls, all the calls we have and the TNLs, it's really hard not to get challenged by them. And then they really, what it did for me, they gave me vision. It's like, okay, cool. You got this lifestyle with X amount of dollars. Look at Albert, look at John, look at, Nina, look at whomever, like they've got more money because they do this. And so I was just, let's get to work. Like I want to be a Hall of Fame producer. I want to have a red jacket. Like all of that stuff is attainable, and why not us? Like there's nothing different. They just work harder than me. So, and that's something I can control. So
anybody can do this.
Yeah. So I think for us, we just got to find our light switch that's going to get us to move. Right. And then once you're moving, once you have appointments, once you have production, all those skills can be developed. You'll pick that up anytime later on. But we can't do anything if you have 5 appointments, 1 presentation. How do we improve anything? Right. So continue to get better for you guys. Last number I just want to bring up, and then we'll wrap it up with that. We need a strong improvement on annuities. Okay. You guys know how many people from last month, there's 142 writing agents. How many wrote annuities?
No.
Pick a number.
4.
You're right. I told you.
No, you did it.
Okay.
Did you?
We wrote 4 out of 142.
Damn.
You know the average out of the 4 that wrote the annuity, it's 8,900 for that average AP added, which is only 10% of that. So that means that's $89,000 in annuity volume. So people were making like a good 4,000 to 5,000 easily on just additional annuity volume. So if you guys are already working, make sure you guys got your routine, make sure you guys are asking the right question, because that added an additional $35,000 into our 685. We did 650 life, 685 from the $35,000 in annuity. So little things, guys, you're already working.
Yeah.
Right.
You've worked 10 months, but you just had a light switch that made you work a lot better and more efficient. You could just simply adding additional $1,000 in your production makes you more money by asking referrals, posting on Facebook, on the social media page, on Instagram, on your story. That gets you sales. Okay. And more importantly, the last number I want to bring up, we have been stagnant on this, and this is where we really need to improve is we need to be a logo factory like anybody else in the team. Okay, we have a total of 3 logos into our group: FFL Elite, FFL Syndicate, and FFL Paragon. We're looking for the next one. Okay,
I'm trying to make a video too. I'm trying to make a super
Yoel wants
sick
to create a video. You guys saw Clifton's video, right, by Yoel?
Jamaica money.
It was nice, but we need another logo. So one of you guys will get there, right?
Amen.
And this is how we're going to have explosive growth. We have individual production growth, but if we have more hiring managers, more logos, we're going to explode to $1 million, $2 million in production easily within 2 to 3 months. Who is it going to be? That's all it is.
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah.
So great stuff. I mean, I really enjoyed hearing from John, from someone that's been doing this for a little bit. Marlon, who's doing this for about 10 months and then kind of coasted a little bit. He did okay, coasted. Then now he decided to turn things on, and then someone brand new to FFL in Eric. But listening to all these numbers, everything was true. The phones is very important, adding annuities to it, getting logos, all this other stuff. But the one thing that I did take away from meeting with Sean and Andrew, they track the teams that do the most, that are growing the fastest, that do the most production. Guess what they have in common? They buy the most leads.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter how much you embrace the phones, or you love the phones, you hate the phones, whatever it is. It doesn't matter how hard you're willing to work, how much you love your business, how many annuities you want to write. If you don't have leads, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you don't have leads, it all starts there. So that's one metric that you guys can all focus on yourself. So the thing is, you can be like, that's not true. I wrote like $30,000. I didn't buy a single lead, and look at this incredible ROI and blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, great. You can always make a sale here and there. Or you can always make you can always write up your mom, your dad, your brother, your uncle, whoever it is, and then eventually, when you run out of family or you run out of friends,
it's not sustainable. Yeah,
it's not a business. You made some sales. You made some sales along the way, but it's not a business. The only way for you to predictably grow a business, and predictably for those of you that are looking to strive to get the integrity deal, that's one of the most predictable measures in which they can account for whether or not you're going to continue to grow. If you guys are not buying leads, they're not buying your business. You're not going to become an integrity partner. If you buy leads consistently, if everyone has that culture and everyone understands this is how I'm going to build my business, you're going to get to wherever you want to get to because it's so predictable. And that's one thing that I forgot to mention earlier. But listening to you guys talk, I'm like, all fair points, but nothing happens without those leads. So nothing happens.
Facts.
Yep. Scalable, not something that's sustainable. Like that's the only measure. So if you guys are trying to grow your business, you guys are out there like, how do I grow? How do I make sure I can consistently write? Are you consistently buying leads? And how much are you spending on leads? That's the first thing to look at.
Yeah. And then to add further into that, what the VPs and like senior VPs and board members are doing, now that they're out in the field, but they're still buying leads, what they're doing is they're buying leads for agents to help them out. If you have the capacity, if you have the income now, they're able to distribute that back into their agency because it's going to increase volume. If needed, you could put a 20-30% cut just to make the offset back into your leads, but you'll make that back in your overrides. You'll make that back in VP bonuses. And now you're empowering an individual that may not have a good starting point from where you were at. And it just allows them to take off. So if you guys have noticed, that's what Andrew has been doing ever since he got the integrity deal. He has just been doing a matching lead purchase to whatever was on instant leads. If there's a ton of leads out here, he's thinking, okay, if FFL USA doesn't do it, maybe FFL Southeast or Tri-State will do it. So I might as well buy the leads, give it out to my agents, give them a 15% off because it's going to come back to me either way. Mm-hmm. So these are where the opportunities can happen for you once you have capital. And to get that capital, we got to start off with our own production.
Agreed.
So that's pretty much going to wrap up. Let's just check real quick if there's any questions on the chat. Anything that
no questions. Just people. Just Albert putting his 2 cents.
All right.
Being a genius as he always is.
All right. So hopefully you guys got something out of this. As mentioned before, we are having our FFL Elite YouTube page coming up, so it's going to continuously be added. If you guys haven't added the FFL Elite Instagram as well, we're building up a lot of content in there. Yoel's coming out with like weekly, daily contents. Yeah,
and YouTube's about to come out. We're kind of setting things up. I mean, it's already out. We're already posting on there, but I'll kind of start making it public coming up this week. We got a really great training video with Albert doing the in-home prezo, talking about uncovering money, kind of how to address, addressing the annuity stuff. Really great stuff. I'll let you guys know when that stuff's out.
And remember, posting is always about creating an image of success or an image of other people having success. So if you don't have it yet, follow the FFL Elite page and just share their stories. And it's going to drum up business on your end as well. All right, that's all we got for you guys today. Thanks for showing up. We look forward to hearing from you guys in a good rest of the week. Have a good one.
Take care.